Level 1, the private. The draft notice lands on a Tuesday. You're 19, scared but with no other choice. 8 weeks of basic training in Louisiana. Then, you're sent to Vietnam, and a wall of heat hits you the second the door opens in Saigon. Job is simple. Walk where they tell you, carry 80 pounds, and never step anywhere your sergeant hasn't stepped first. The jungle is so thick that noon looks like dusk. The mud is a deep rust red, and everything, your boots, your rifle, the letter in your pocket, is permanently wet. You get a short timer's calendar, a page divided into 365 boxes. That's how much you have left. You shade one in every morning. You have 329 left. In 1968, American patrols made contact with the enemy on 1 out of every 100 missions. The other 99, you just walk. You wait. You listen to silence that might be nothing, or might be the last thing you ever hear. At $96 a month, you are earning $3.21 a day to find out which one it is. Level 2, the specialist. 4 months in, you hear the phrase that will follow you home for the rest of your life. If it's dead in Vietnamese, it's VC. 3 days later, you fill out your first patrol report. There's a box for enemy KIA. You were there. You counted 2 bodies. One had a rifle, one had nothing, sandals, a rice bag, a hat. You look at the box. You write 3. Nobody told you to. Nobody was watching. It took 4 seconds and you never discussed it with anyone, and the report went up the chain. And that was that. You have 273 boxes left. Level 3, the sergeant. 8 months in, you are a squad leader. And the most dangerous thing near you isn't the enemy. It's your lieutenant. He arrived 3 weeks ago from officer candidate school with a business degree from Ohio State, has never been shot at, and reads the map correctly. You'll give him that. You're in charge of a 10-man squad, all wanting to go home as much as you do. Before every patrol, you brief him quietly. Sir, that open ground is a kill zone. Sometimes he listens. When he doesn't, you write your will in your head. Marijuana is $1 a pack in any village market. In some units, 80% of men are using. You look the other way. The Army will pretend this isn't happening until 1971. Between 1969 and 1971, the Army will record 730 confirmed fragging incidents, enlisted men attacking their own officers with grenades. You would never do it. But at 2 a.m. in a foxhole, you understand it. Some of your men won't make it to their 365. You catch yourself watching them during rest breaks, tallying something you refuse to name. Level 4, the staff sergeant. Here is the thing you don't tell anyone. You sleep better out here than you do at home. Last week, your squad got pinned down in a dry creek bed outside Hugh for 6 hours. One man lost 2 fingers. You got everyone else home. After, you filled out the after-action report in 15 minutes and slept 8 hours straight, something you haven't done in 2 years back in Ohio. That's why you came back for a second tour. At home, the grocery store was too loud. 3 months back, and you'd had 6 conversations that went nowhere and driven past your old high school twice without knowing why. Out here, at least the danger makes sense. Last month, your unit cleared the same village for the 3rd time. Different bodies. Same village. You don't say what that means out loud, but you know it the way you know weather. In your body, before the evidence arrives. You have 147 boxes left on your second calendar. You still shade them every morning. Level 5, the lieutenant. You are standing in a patch of jungle holding a radio handset, and you are about to lie. You've been a platoon leader for 6 weeks, responsible for 35 men. Your platoon sergeant is on his second tour. He looks at you the way a man looks at a disappointing weather forecast. And on your first patrol, he quietly countermanded your order in a tone that made his idea sound like yours. You let it happen. Fighting it is the kind of pride that gets people killed. Now your company commander wants your assessment of the tree line. You report what you see. He wants numbers. You give him what you have. He wants more. Standing here, holding this handset, you understand for the first time exactly how the body count gets inflated. It starts here, one lieutenant who doesn't want to disappoint his captain. You round up by 12. You key the handset. You say, "Yes, sir." Level 6, the captain. Your battalion commander is 2,000 feet above the jungle in a helicopter, and he's on the radio. "I need those numbers up, Captain." You are in the jungle. You key the handset and say, "Yes, sir." This is company command. 180 men. You are the exact center of the machine. Too senior to pretend you don't understand what's happening. Too junior to change it. A captain 1 year ahead of you told you before you took command. The first time you're tempted to round up, you'll tell yourself it's just this once. By month 3, you won't notice you're doing it. He was not warning you. He was describing physics. You have lost 2 men this month. You write the letters to their families at night. You drink before you write them, because otherwise you can't find the words. Level 7, the Lieutenant Colonel, $1,048 a month. At 3 a.m., when the reports are filed and the command post is quiet, a question finds you that you are not allowed to ask out loud. Is what we're counting what matters? You command a battalion, 800 men. You haven't slept in the same location as those men in 11 weeks. Your command post has sandbags, radios, hot food 3 days out of 7, and colonels who fly in regularly to review your numbers. Your kill ratio is 7-1. 3 hamlets secured this month. By every measure you're being evaluated on, you are winning. A captain named Morris sent you a report last month saying the area you ordered him to clear was a prepared kill zone. It cost him 60% casualties. You forwarded it up the chain with a note that Morris was experiencing normal combat friction. You don't ask the question. That's exactly how you got to this rank. Level 8, the General, $1,600 plus a month. In November 1967, you stand before the National Press Club in Washington and tell them, "We have reached an important point when the end begins to come into view." You believe it when you say it. That's the important detail. You are MACV, the Military Assistance Command Vietnam. You live in a villa in Saigon with air conditioning, a personal cook, and a driver who irons his uniform every morning. IBM mainframes process battlefield data overnight and print your reports by 6 a.m. Your briefing room has a color-coded map of every province in the country that shows green wherever we're winning. There is a lot of green on the map. In the evenings, Saigon is restaurants and ceiling fans, and cold beer and French architecture left over from the occupation. It is possible on a Tuesday evening in the Continental Palace Hotel to forget there is a war 30 kilometers north. 70 days after your speech, 80,000 Viet Cong fighters launch simultaneous attacks on 36 provincial capitals and 5 major cities. They breach the wall of the U.S. Embassy in Saigon. Militarily, it's a catastrophe for the enemy. The NVA loses 45,000 men in a month. You win every engagement. You're having dinner when your aide walks in and sets a transcript on the table without saying a word. Walter Cronkite has just told 80 million Americans the war will end in stalemate. The president has already called someone and said, "If I've lost Cronkite, I've lost Middle America." You won the battle and lost the war in the same month. After the war, 61% of officers surveyed said the body count was often inflated. Some called it totally worthless. Some said the immensity of the false reporting is a blot on the honor of the Army. They said it in surveys, anonymously, not to you. Nobody said it to you.